to sauce up your wings, brisket, and veggies? Try Georgia Mae's Buffalo Wing Sauce and Georgia Mae's Garlic Hot Sauce. Our do-it-all sauces make meal prep quick, convenient, and fun. The smooth finish of our delicious buffalo sauce coats every wing evenly, delivering a flavor-packed bite every single time. Try dipping for even more flavor. Our Garlic Hot Sauce brings any dish to the next level. Shop online at bdscaters.com.
Hello and welcome to the Duval Sports Podcast, the Fourth and Goal Podcast. I'm Andre Ellis. I'm here with Chandler and Christian once again to recap last week in Northeast Florida high school football and preview this week coming up. It was a hurricane this week, so man, a lot went on. A lot of games were rescheduled and canceled. We're hoping that everybody is safe. We're praying for all those affected, our brothers and sisters down there in South Florida, in the Tampa area and the Orlando area, even as close as us as Daytona. A lot of people were affected. This is Florida, so we're kind of used to it, but we're definitely praying, and we're going to get through this together. Speaking of together, I have my main men here together once again. Chandler, what's up? Christian, what's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
Man, I'm doing good. First of all, how did everything fare with the hurricane?
All good over here. Just a few limbs down in the yard.
Yeah, nothing crazy up here. I mean, a little bit of rain, but nothing bad.
Yeah, actually, the last one two weeks ago was a little bit worse for me than this one. We lost some power, but last time. But I mean, we really didn't this time either. So, I'm glad that y'all are doing good, looking great as always. So, let's hop right into it. So first of all, we started off, of course, our sponsor, Georgia Mae's. You can get your sauce, and we always talk about who has the sauce of our player of the week. And our player of the week this week was none other than the man right here, Tony Kennedy. And he's been on a tear the last couple of weeks. 287 passing yards, 5 touchdowns versus Yulee. He even had 136 rushing yards, 5 total touchdowns. He had some rushing and some passing. And get this, in the last 2 weeks, he's had 846 total yards, 10 touchdowns in 2 games versus Bishop Kenny and versus Yulee. So he's our Duval Sports Player of the Week. He's got the sauce this week. And Christian, man, let's go to you. You were at that game with Yulee and Terry Parker, man. What did you see? And tell us what you saw from Tony.
I mean, if you just want to talk about a dual threat quarterback, he is like the definition of a dual threat quarterback. I think he's got a great arm, great quarterback, but just like when you don't expect it, he can take off and run. And that Terry Parker offense has a lot of design runs for him, which is just perfect. And he hurts the defense every single time. It's just over and over. And I know for a defense, it's probably so frustrating playing a guy who can, you're just running the ball. Next thing you know, he beats you deep with a long pass, and it's just hard to stop. It's really hard to stop.
What did you see from the team as a whole?
The team as a whole
won 2 in a row.
So yeah, they're hot right now. They won on Monday, then won on Friday. I mean, in the blink of an eye, they got 2 wins, and they're fighting to be in the playoffs. Team looks solid. The team, I mean, obviously Yulee hasn't been that good this year, but still, the team looked really, really solid just as a whole on Friday night. And the whole offense really ran through Kennedy too. I mean, just the whole offense, the whole game plan, everything was utilize his athleticism. Just everything goes through him pretty much.
Yeah, that was a big upset of Bishop Kenny. 2 weeks ago. Really, it was in the same week, right? I mean, they played Bishop Kenny earlier in the week, and then had to turn around and
historically here, these two things have been heard with their last year in 2008. The pressure, not a couple, they're having a tackle in the backfield, but,
I mean, look at that right there, man. He's just showing off his legs, showing off his arm. Look, that's 50 yards in the air. I mean, all year he's just really been tearing it up. And
yes. What I was gonna say, especially with those last two plays that you showed, the first of the last two was that design run that they had. I mean, it's just so hard to stop. And then that last play you showed, even when he's getting pressured, when he's throwing off his back foot, he's still able to deliver a good pass downfield and beat him deep.
Yeah. I mean, it shows right there, and he's a track star, so he has incredible, wiggle. As we saw in that clip. Shout out to Coach Michael Holloway of Terry Parker, turning his team around. He's got two wins in a row. That's a big win against Bishop Kenny because and Yulee, those are district games. So even though they had a district loss against Menendez earlier this year, those wins, they can still make the playoffs, one, but also they can still win it. They'll need some help, of course, from some of their district teams, but just an amazing turnaround that they're having, led by Kennedy. So let's get into some other things. So I don't know if you all saw. Did you all see that there was another team that didn't shake hands?
Yeah, saw that.
So before we get into this one, Christian, you were at the first game that started all this, right?
Yeah.
You were at Bowls and Reigns week one. Did you notice that they didn't shake hands?
At first, no. I honestly didn't see it until I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw the video, and then a couple more scrolls, I see the video again and again and again. I'm like, wow, this is really blowing up. I think the big difference is how the referees obviously reacted.
Yeah.
In the Bulls and Reigns game, they didn't really say too much about it, but obviously in the Ed White and Atlantic Coast game, it was much, much different. I respect the referees a lot too.
Chandler, jump in there. I mean, did you see the Bulls and Reigns handshake gate?
Yeah, I saw that one. That one kind of blew up everywhere on social media. And then when you saw this Ed White and AC one, that referee did a pretty good job. And I think like the Reigns and Bulls referee, they were kind of shocked about that not happening, and then maybe every referee's aware of it now, especially after this past week. So I think you'll see from now on every team shaking hands.
Yeah, let's show this Ed White one. Now the Ed White one actually went viral, so we're going to show someone who's gone viral over it, who's commenting on it. But we want to give the original video credit. That was Dream King Films. So let's give him credit for the video, for being the Ed White. So this is not Dream King Films. This is someone who took Dream King Films video and commented on a TikTok. Take a listen.
Of the year. This is how you teach sportsmanship. I'm going to shut up and let you watch this video. I'll come in on the other side.
Don't do that. Bro, that's unsportsmanlike. No, hell no. Shake hands, big man, 4-1. Stick your hand out, man, and shake hands. That's going to be your first unsportsmanlike, all right? I give you the second one, you're going to be ejected from the game. I'm letting you know right now. Take your hand out and shake these men's hand, man. Let's play football, bro. We ain't coming for that, bro.
You know what?
All right, so let's get into it. First of all right, let me give you a little update. So apparently 41 didn't get a chance to play. He was actually kicked out of the game. So, and then some of the other players were disciplined by, I believe, the school. So, Chandler, let's, start with you since you kind of commented. I mean, what's your whole take on shaking hands at the beginning? I know in baseball, that's a really big thing, right?
Yeah, I think you should shake your opponent's hand because everyone is out there to do the same thing, have fun. Everyone's trying to make it to the next level. Everyone on that field is trying to get a scholarship to get to the next level, and everyone works that hard to get to the next level. So I think you should shake your opponent because you're all there to do the same thing.
Christian, you've been a part of some heated battles, man. Heated rivalry, heated games. Have you ever been in a part of a game where you didn't shake hands at the end?
At the end, yeah.
Or at the beginning. I mean, the beginning, most people have done that. This is kind of a new thing for not to do it at the beginning. So that's why I kind of said the end.
At the beginning, I don't understand not doing it at the beginning. That's kind of just a sign of respect. At the end, stuff happens throughout the game. Things get chippy. I've been in a lot of soccer games where like coaches refuse to shake hands after the game and they kind of just walk it off and it's not that big of a deal. But before the game to me is kind of ridiculous. Like I said, it's kind of just a sign of respect. At the end of the day, like Chandler said, these are young men who are just trying to play the sport they love and trying to go have fun. And I also think it's kind of embarrassing for the school too. It doesn't. I know their coach, Coach LJ. He's a great coach, and
yeah, he really is.
And I don't think that represents what he stands for or what that program is about. And so I think it's kind of just embarrassing.
Now let's get into shaking hands at the end. So I'm playing here now. This is actually the end of Mandarin and First Coast from earlier this week. So that was Mandarin First Coast from earlier this week. That video courtesy of Clayton Freeman of the Florida Times Union. Sportsmanship, just overall. I mean, how important is that? Do you believe that keeps the integrity of the game, but also like this game couldn't even finish. Like they had to end 3 minutes before the end. So how important do you believe that? Is Chandler?
Sportsmanship is just a huge part of the game. I mean, everyone's got to respect everyone. I'm not quite sure what happened in that Mandarin First Coast game, but for it to end like that, something had to be pretty crazy to end the game with 4 minutes left. What was the score? I think they're down. Was it 27-6 or something for the referees?
Yeah, something like that.
The referees to end the game like that, I mean, it had to be something crazy for them not even to shake hands and going at it like that, people holding each other back. Sportsmanship is pretty important in high school and whatever level you're in.
Yeah, Christian, if do you have any advice for the current players? I mean, you're a former player. All right, let's say it's some cheap shots or they're hurting your teammate. How can you still get to the end of the game so everybody can have a peaceful ending?
Just don't let your emotions take over. I mean, be smart. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody bleeds the same. We're all human. Don't do something dumb. Don't let your emotions get in the way. Because what ends up happening is you get in a fight, then you can get suspended for future games, and at the end of the day, it's just not worth it. You just got to be smart about it. Don't let your just don't let your emotions get ahead of yourself.
Very well said. So let's move on so we can kind of get through this. We had some really big games last week, so let's talk about that. Chandler, you've covered Creekside and you've covered Fleming Island, and this game was crazy, man. So Fleming Island went up in this game. I mean, they were just going off, and Sebastian Broughton went off. He had 359 yards passing. He had 5 touchdowns passing. He had 90 yards rushing. So, I mean, it was just going off. I mean, they were leading 31-14 at halftime. So, just crazy numbers put up by Fleming Island. But then Creekside comes back. They scored 20 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to win 48-45. Chandler, just talk about those two teams. Let's start with Creekside, and were they explosive when you saw them?
No, they weren't too explosive when I saw them. It was like week 2, week 3, or something like that. But I think everyone is starting to see Creekside's potential now on these last couple weeks. I mean, to come back down 31-14 at halftime, to score 20 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, I think Creekside is now showing Jacksonville like who they are and who they can be. And with a good quarterback like Sebastian on Fleming Island, having that 5 touchdowns in a game, doing rushing and passing, having a guy like that's kind of hard for Creekside's defense to kind of defend that. I mean, the final score being 48-45, I mean, both teams are pretty good, and then Creekside is showing their potential these past couple of weeks.
Yeah, Creekside's got some dogs. Christian, have you covered Creekside and some of their players, Sean Ashenfelder, Nico Wise, any of those players?
Never have. I have heard of their running back. I forgot his name, but I've heard of their running back. He's been I've seen a lot of highlights from him. Been super explosive. He looks really, really good. But other than that, I haven't had a chance to make it out to Creekside yet.
That's Harrison Garrido. Yeah. He's a dog. He was actually our player of the week a couple weeks ago. Big win by Creekside. Congratulations to Coach McIntyre out there. I mean, he always gets his team going, and that was a good effort by Fleming Island too. For them to be up that much. So, Christian, let's go to you. You've seen Tocoi Creek, and we knew that they were going to have a big game against Beachside. And so, I mean, with that game, some of the players from Tocoi that you saw, I mean, name one or two that impressed you.
So I wasn't at the Tocoi Creek and Beachside game, but just from what I've seen going to other games, obviously Julio Santiago, I mean, we've talked about him before. But also I'd probably have to go with their quarterback, Ryan Kilmer. I mean, he's been really, really solid. Even without Julio on the field, he's been really, really solid for them. But ever since, Julio's come back, he's been it's just elevated his game. I mean, it's being able to have that good of a target just makes his life, I'm sure, much, much easier.
Yeah, and he's a big quarterback. He's about 6'5", 6'6".
He's tall. He's very, very tall, and he can run too. He's super athletic. Like, even if you think you got him contained, he can easily take off. And I've seen him take off a couple of times too.
Yeah, with Beachside, that was a big win for them. That's a rivalry game for them. 2 new schools in St. Johns County. Edward Jordan is leading the area. In 5 games, he's passed for 1,534 yards.
That's
and
great.
13 touchdowns. Huh?
That's insane.
Yeah, and 13 touchdowns and just 2 picks. That's it. So he is really going to town, man. And then they also have a receiver who has 607 yards receiving. That's Drew Watson.
Drew Watson, yeah, he's nice. He's really nice.
You know, have you photographed him before?
No, I haven't, but I've seen too many clips of him making catches and highlights, and he's been. I've been wanting to go out to a Beachside game.
All right, Beachside, we're gonna get you. All right, I mean, we're gonna cover you, and make sure that we show you some love here on Duval Sports. But that was a really nice win there. So I had the Northwest Classic. So that well, Asia actually, did that one, and that was a. That's a game that's always a big one in the city. That rains and rebound brings all the people out, but we kind of knew the game wasn't going to be close, right? Chris?
Yeah, it was just a bloodbath. I mean, it really wasn't close at all.
Yeah. Let's show some.
For the Vikings. And he goes back.
Adrian Walker. So they just completely dismantled Reebok in the this was the 55th annual Northwest Classic. Beat them 52-12. Just crazy. So Reigns was your number one team last week. Is Reigns your number one team this week too?
I don't have a reason why they would go down on my list. I'd still keep them at number one.
Yeah, they are such a strong team. Even with Solomon Thomas being out because he was out this game as well. I mean, they show that they can still put up points, and they can still really dominate teams.
What's also impressive to me too is that sometimes when good teams play other teams that are clearly not as good, sometimes they play down to their level. They go out there, pretend like they won the game just by walking on the field. Reigns didn't do that. Reigns showed up, showed out. They knew what they needed to do, and they took care of business. To me, that's what's like super impressive is they went and just blew them out, and that's what you need to do. That's what should happen when you play a team like that.
Yeah, and I mean their remaining schedule. They've got a date with Creekside up there. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
A team that might be able to match them toe for toe in points. I'm not sure if Creekside's defense is as dominant as Reigns, but they can put up points with them, right?
Oh yeah.
So Chandler had to go, but I mean we're gonna finish it up here. He told me beforehand that he had to hightail it out, but he'll be back next week. So Christian, let's talk about just as a whole, some of the games that you've covered this year. What would you say? Which one was the most exciting?
Oh, by far, St. Augustine and Nease. I mean, that game, the big comeback by Nease, going into overtime, coming down to the final play where Nease ended up scoring first in overtime, got the extra point. St. Augustine scored in overtime, but then decided to go for two. Didn't get the 2-point conversion, and how the game ended like that. And you could tell how much it meant to Nease too, how the way they celebrated, how emotional they were on the sideline after the game. It was just a very meaningful game for them and a big win. And it was just so exciting. Like there really hasn't been a game that was close.
Now, Nease undefeated, of course. They've got Beachside, Atlantic Coast, Tocoi Creek, and Bartram Trail. They could go undefeated. I mean, that's a schedule, in my opinion, where they could end up 10-0.
Yeah, my only concern with them is staying healthy. I've heard they've been kind of collecting some injuries along the team, and as long as they can stay healthy, stay committed, stay focused, I can easily see them going undefeated.
St. Augustine, they last got a win on Columbia. They have Clay coming up. They have a date with Bartram Trail. That's a rivalry that goes way, way, way back.
But then that last
Ridgeview,
week,
huh?
I was about to say that last week that they got.
Oh yeah, that's good, man. That's gonna be a big one, man. Mandarin.
Yep.
Yeah. Mandarin seems like they're getting their groove. I mean, they have another quarterback that they've thrown in there, and man, he looked really good against First Coast. Do you think Mandarin has enough juice to hang with the Jackets?
I definitely think they do. I definitely think their defense. I think that'll be the toughest defense that the Jackets have faced this season. That defense is very, very good. They very stout, very talented. Now that they have Jamie back, obviously I wasn't at the Mandarin games, but seeing all the highlights, it looks like Jamie just had no rust, came out firing for the Mustangs, and they look, even without Trammell in there, they look hard to stop right now.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, they have some rushes over there. Dion Winstead, Dante Perry is another one where they're just really deep at that running back position. They've kind of morphed into a different type of team where they're going to kind of wear you out and wear you down. Like we said last week, they got the 5-star back. Jamie French got him back. Still got Bryson Wright. Still got Knox Ennis. So
Yep. No, they're super talented, and just because they don't have Trammell, I don't think that's a team to really sleep on.
yeah, I think as far as that goes, and then defense. We already talked about the other 5-star on the defensive side of the ball. Hilton Drake Stubbs, the U commit. But they also have some other ones.
They have Brody Jennings, who's committed to Michigan right now. He's really, really good.
Right. Yeah.
It's just everywhere you look on that team, it's just talent.
Yeah, him, Tamaj Mitchell, which is another corner. He forced a fumble against First Coast. Isaiah Ratliff, the linebacker, Cam Mills. Just the list just goes on and on about the players they have. So that's going to be a real good one. And one thing I like about St. Augustine, and you've seen them, so they will never be out of a game. A great coaching staff, Coach Braddock, and Carl Jenkins Jr., Trenton Jones, of course the quarterback,
Lachlan. They still got Samorion out there.
Yeah.
That offense is that offense is so hard to stop. There's just so many options, so many just ways that they can beat you. And I mean, that Mandarin game is gonna be good.
Yeah. I mean, that game is going to be one for the ages, and I really can't wait for it either because it's the last game of the season. Is the game going into the playoffs? There'll be a lot at stake, for both of those teams, not just bragging rights, but just momentum going into the postseason. I mean, both teams last year were state runners up, and I mean, they were there. So, I'm going to pull up your top 5 from last week as we get ready to go. Yeah, there it is. So, any changes that you think from that top 5?
I would have to say no. As of right now, just kind of due to the lack of games. Obviously, with the hurricane and the weather going on, it's kind of been hard to judge. I think Mandarin is very, very close to being in that top. Like, Mandarin's definitely my number 6. Mandarin's very, very close to sneaking into that 5, but I'm going to leave St. Augustine there for now.
All right. Yep. Yeah. And listen, man, that that top 10, that top 5 can challenge anybody in the state. So, especially with Reigns at the top. So, here was mine last week. I'll release the top 10 next week. But slight difference. I had Mandarin in mind. I had Nease number 1. Reigns really kind of had a cupcake this week, so it's kind of hard to really judge them.
Yeah.
Bradford had a cupcake as well. Now, Bradford's next game against Newberry. I mean, Newberry is one of the best teams in the state this year. So that's going to be and that game's on the road. So that's going to tell us a lot about Bradford. And, and Bowes just continues to win as well. So those are some of the top teams that are, in the area. And make sure that you stay with us on Duval Sports. Follow us at Duval Sports. You can follow Christian as well. I mean, Christian, how can they keep in touch with you?
My Instagram, where I post like 90% of the time, that's Schultz.media. And then my Twitter, where I also post a lot of game updates, is SchultzMedia_.
Man, and if you go there, you'll see some of the best shots in high school football. Man, I already told you that he got the catch. This is the man right here that got that. So follow him, Asia, of course, Chandler, who just left, Paul, and Will Brown. So it's a whole team. Make sure that you subscribe, follow everyone's platform. Definitely, man, because that's what it's all about. It's about supporting one another. So, Christian, thank you once again, man. Hey, I know it's late, but I appreciate you. And everyone else, have a good night. All right.